What's up, everybody? It's me, Blake, with another Blake is Political view for you guys. Another interesting topic as well as video. Basically, the topic of this video is the Ron Paul supporter a waste of a vote? Now, I wonder, and I asked the people this, and I also asked myself this, mainly because Ron Paul, just like every other presidential candidate, has supporters and followers and people who want to see him in office. I mean, that's great and dandy. But the average Ron Paul supporter has, a hard time admitting and realizing to themselves that, unfortunately, granted, Ron Paul might have some good views. A lot of people might agree with what he says. He just doesn't have enough support to get him in office. And basically, Ron Paul is now having a dying campaign. And unfortunately, a lot of Ron Paul supporters don't want to believe that. They don't want to give up the hope and they want to keep fighting for Ron Paul. But unfortunately, the campaign of his is slowly dwindling down and it's almost over. Now, when I question myself, not myself, but I wonder to myself when I question Ron Paul supporters, I question that, is it a waste of a vote? Reason being that Ron Paul supporters are all Ron Paul or nobody at all. Some are even extremists and say Ron Paul or die. They're really going hard for their Ron Paul. And when I read that Ron Paul or nobody at all, or I'm just like, really? Or is your ego that big that you can't open your eyes to see maybe another possible presidential candidate that you might like, that who actually can do something for this country other than Ron Paul, who has no chance of winning? Ron Paul supporters say, I'm voting for Ron Paul to the end, and if I have to, I'll write his name in on a ballot. Why? Why would you waste your time in your vote writing his name on a ballot knowing that he can't win? My question to you is, why would you waste your vote? Why would you waste your opportunity and chance to make a difference in this country because your ego's in the way of not acknowledging the fact that Ron Paul can't win? There's tons of people out there who unfortunately don't vote and can't vote, who would love to vote and would love the opportunity to make a change. And why would you blow that opportunity because your ego's in the way and saying, I'm going to write Ron Paul on the ballot? Why would you waste a vote for somebody who can't win? Now, this makes me realize, is a Ron supporter a useless vote? Like, why can't you see that there might be other people who can make a change? Why won't you vote for somebody who can make a difference opposed to somebody who can't? They're like, fight to the end. It's all good and all, but what are you fighting for? You're fighting a done battle. Why would you waste your vote on somebody who can't win when you have the opportunity to vote for somebody who not only can win, who can actually make a change? This is a question to Ron Paul supporters. Why is it really Ron Paul and no one at all? If it's not Ron Paul, then it's no hope. You're just going to give up. You want no one in office? Like I said, some people say Ron Paul or die, which is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, granted, you're supporting the man, but that's a bit extreme. So my question to everyone, is a Ron Paul supporter a useless vote because they won't give up?